Hi everyone, happy Monday and welcome to our first proper festive planner page. And we have this circle design. This is from Johanna's Christmas. Now we don't have the whole of the page on here, but I think all of the elements are here. You know, this train and stocking's a bit cut off here, but we get it all here. So I think it means that if you've got the big book and not the planner, you could probably follow along with me if that's what you wanted. Now I'm not going to do every bit in the sense that I'm not going to do all four of these and all four of these because I'm going to have them the same. So I'm going to choose a little quadrant to do and do that with you. Now I do have a video already of this bit, I think from the cover of Johanna's Christmas. I think I did it last year, but I haven't properly looked at it, and I'm going to hope that I don't do it exactly the same. I'm going to be using my Staedtler Design Journey pencils because they're small. We've got quite a lot of details going on. I think we're going to start here with our Christmas pudding. Now this is a Christmas pudding, as I just said. Now it's something that people in the USA don't have, so I can talk to you about it while I'm colouring. I'm just going to find my colour name list. Here we go. For the Staedtlers, this is the tobacco brown, number 77, and I'm going to do these circles. Now these circles would be fruit, dried fruit like currants, sultanas, that sort of thing. A Christmas pudding is basically, it's a suet, a pudding that's steamed. So the fat is suet. You can get vegetarian suet Christmas puddings these days. So it's steamed, and so it's like a very rich sponge with dried fruit in, really. This is 76, which is our Van Dyke brown. I'm going to try and make it a little bit darker on the edges. I can colour right over the top of that other brown though. So yeah, it's rather nice, I think, but it's always served with a sauce. Now usually you might have custard, you might have cream, you might have brandy butter, you might have brandy cream, you might have cognac cream. You know, there are lots of different options. Now well, some people still do this actually, they will set fire to it. So in this picture we've got a topping on here, but often it's served on a plate and you pour brandy over it and set fire to it. I've never done that, partly don't really drink, not a big fan of brandy, and it would set off all the smoke detector alarms in the house. So I don't know, I guess the tradition is from way before we had smoke alarms and things, but it's, yeah, no. Now I'm going to make this topping look more like custard than cream because I don't have a cream pencil, and so I think we'll do it yellowy like custard. So this is number 1, which is our yellow, and I don't want it sort of looking completely bright yellow, so I'm going to use it quite lightly because custard isn't, it depends how you make it, to be honest. In the UK we tend to have 2 methods for custard. You either make it yourself with eggs, and that's the sort of proper patisserie type custard that you would make. But a lot of people use the dried powdered mix, which is basically just corn flour and vanilla flavour. I guess I could come in a bit closer. I was going to just try and keep the whole of the quadrant I was colouring in shot, but I think it might be easier for you if you come in closer like that. So with the bottom I did it darker around here and lighter here to try and make it look more round. Here I should do the same thing really, so I'm just going to put a little bit extra yellow here, being a little bit cautious. I'm not sure how effective, this is going to be, and I don't want it to look too brightly yellow. A little bit on edge, checking my messages. My son's at uni, the trains are all cancelling here, there and everywhere due to various different problems, and he is trying to decide when to come home. This is number 29, which is the carmine red, and I'm going to use it for this berry. This is holly. You wouldn't necessarily put holly on the top. If you were going to burn it, you most certainly wouldn't. A sprig of holly, always festive, looks good if you're just popping it on your table. I think I'm going to use number 5 for the actual holly, and I'm just going to put a light layer all over. And then a little bit extra around the edge and maybe in the middle. I'll decide in a minute, depends how. It's quite sharp. I'm just going to sharpen it a bit more so I can get a little more accuracy. Yeah, so it's very traditional to have your Christmas pudding after your Christmas dinner. You don't have it any other day or time of the year. I mean, you would have it as leftovers, obviously, because normally by the time you've eaten your Christmas dinner, there's some room for pudding. What do we have at Christmas dinner traditionally in the UK? Well, most people now have turkey, which is a bit of a copy of the Americans' Thanksgiving, I think. It sort of became a tradition here later. I'm just looking for a green for my ivy. I think I'm going to try 38. It might be a little bit too bluey. This is the sea green, but we'll see how it looks, because ivy I was thinking is quite bluish. It used to be goose, but we don't really eat that anymore. That's sort of Victorian tradition, I think, more so than anything else. And some people really loathe turkey and they don't eat it, but we would have stuffing with it, so people might make a sausage meat stuffing or buy a sort of herb and onion type one. And then you have roast potatoes, so, and usually you would have quite a few vegetables. People often have roasted parsnips. We used to have roasted marrow when I was a child, but it's quite hard to find marrow these days, strangely. It's gone out of fashion, I think. I'm doing these all the same. What else would you have? You would probably have some Brussels sprouts. A lot of people really dislike them. They're in season at this time of year, so it's quite normal to have them with any sort of meal. But people try and do things to change the flavour. They might fry them with some bacon, or with some small shallots, or with chestnuts. But actually, I really like them just as they are. A little bit of salt maybe. Carrots, peas, that sort of thing would normally have gravy, and people tend to have cranberry sauce, which they tend to buy, or cranberry jelly, tend to buy it in a jar. We don't tend to make our own very often, but in my household everyone prefers red currant jelly. It's a bit sweeter. Now we've got this gift, we're going to colour this next. I'm not going to stick to a colour scheme, a limited palette or anything. I'm just going to do whatever takes my fancy. Now we have this yellow and colours here. I sort of think we might try and match it a little bit. I'd quite like the idea of doing a gold bow. I know I show you gold so often, but let's have a go. We'll use this brown. This is 76, it's the Van Dyke, we've used it before. Just going to move into the middle a little bit. So I'm going to use a little bit here and a little bit there to start with. Now in these circles are the sort of bit where the ribbon is folded, or yeah, sort of creased, I suppose. So I think these need to be dark. And in here, there'd be some shadow in here, like that, and here as well. More in there, and then some here, and at this end, some here, at this end. And then I think do here and here and here, here and here. So we're going to have it split it in sort of 3 sections because of the twists in the ribbon. Now it seems quite like there's a lot to do and it's complex, but once you've done this initial bit, it actually then becomes very easy. There we go. Now we're going to use our second colour. I'm just looking at what to use. I don't really have the right colours, but I make it work. This is 73. It is the Burnt Sienna. That's going to be my second colour. Now here, this is much easier. So we just work through extending what we've done already. So just making it a bit bigger. Now, bear in mind I'm going to be using 4 colours. So just thinking about the space that I need, I want to fit in 4 different colours, and I need to leave a little white space because I want this to look like it's gold, shiny gold ribbon. So I've got to make sure that I leave enough space for that. I can always miss out one of my colours at the end if I need to. I think those bits need going over with this, but those bits there, I want them to be dark. I'm not going to go over them in another colour very much. I think how they are looks right. Bit here, extend that one a bit. Yeah, my boy decided to get into some work, which was good. He's finished one of his essays now. 3 to go. Phew. Right. That's that. Now, I'm probably, going to go for the golden ochre next. This is 16. I really do like these Design Journey pencils, by the way. People ask me about them and the Ergosoft. Now, I do like the Ergosoft. I feel like they're slightly smoother. And I like when you hold them in your hand, the matte feel to the case is really nice. However, it comes off, goes sticky and dirty really easily, and that is unpleasant. As soon as it does that, it feels nasty. So they're not ideal where that's concerned. So that's part of the reason why I prefer these. Plus the fact that you get a good wide range of colours. Now I've got the Design Journey Soft Touch, and is it Soft Touch? Is that what they're called? Hang on, just check. I've got one here. Super Soft. That's it. Sorry, it's Castle Arts at Soft Touch, isn't it? The Super Soft. Ironically, they feel harder. I don't understand it. They're a black barrel. It's a slightly cheaper range, I think. I haven't actually compared the prices. They look cheaper, let's just put it that way. They're not, I don't think they're as nice, and they don't have such a big range of colours. I'm just trying to choose now between yellow and sand. I think yellow. This is the number 1 that we used before. So yes, and these are, I think they go up to 72 colours, and the Super Soft are less. I couldn't tell you how much. The Ergosofts are only 36, which I think is in line with the Norris, but I'm not entirely sure. So, and they have different colours in the sets though. So if you buy the 24 set of these, you get a different set of colours than if you buy the 24 set of the Super Soft. And it's a different to the Norris. It's a little bit strange, but well, but yes, I think out of all the Staedtlers, these are the ones I would go for. And there, as I say, there's a 72 set, which is really good. I haven't got it. I've only got, well, I say only, I've got 48, which is lovely. and it's very nice to have 48. I have got the I have got my eye on the 72, but not for Christmas this year, because we've treated ourselves to a lovely new mattress, which was very extravagant and very well worthwhile. It was quite scary. I'm going to use this number 6 violet. I think it will go really nicely with this gold on the present. So got the new mattress. The first night I had a backache when I got up. I was like, oh. The second night, my husband had a backache and mine was even worse. I was like, oh. The next night, we sort of like, well, yeah, got a backache, but we actually thinking about it, we sort of analysed it. You can walk it off within a few hours, or even less. You know, by the time I've had breakfast, it seems to have gone. Now it's a week later only, I think. Yeah, just a week later, no more backache. I think that it wasn't that the mattress was bad, it's that the mattress was good and our last one was bad, and our bodies were sort of adjusting. So now we get up, oh, no backache, which is lovely. So I know the mattress is quite hard, but it doesn't give me pain, because the old mattress, I couldn't stay sleeping on one side for too long because I got a hip pain or a shoulder ache or things like that. Not too bad, but just uncomfortable and you have to turn over. But no, this one doesn't do that, so it's brilliant. So we're very pleased. Well, I'm very pleased. I think husband is pleased now. He seems to be sleeping well, so that's good sign, and he isn't getting his backache anymore. So that's all good. So we're hoping that will protect both of our backs, because we've both got vulnerable backs, and it's important, isn't it, to make sure that we look after ourselves. Now, I know I haven't done this bit on the edge of the ribbon. I'm not leaving it white, but I am just grabbing a black number 9 to do a little bit of shadow on the purple bits, and then I'll I was going to do it in a glitter pen, in a yes, so the black, just one job at a time. I was going to do it in a gold glitter pen and I haven't got one in here. I might have to come up with a different idea. So I'm just trying to go around the edge of a few bits to create the look of shadow. I really wanted to just do it around here, because then the ribbon is unlikely to be so tight that there's no shadow. Can't actually see what I'm doing. I'm trying to get a bit closer. Now the little star shapes on the wrapping paper aren't really showing up. So I am thinking perhaps I'll go over those a little bit. I'm going to actually put a bit more violet here. Just looks like it could benefit from a bit. I'm thinking, excuse me, I might do those. Actually, I'm going to try this. Where's our number 8? Looking for a jelly roll 8. I want one that's reasonably thin. I've got about 50 pens here. I've got 2 5s, a 5 and 8. Oh, there's the 8. An 8, 2 10s, 2 5s. Jelly roll, some of them don't work. So I think if I'm going to do the start in white and see whether it then ties in with that white. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm not breathing. I'm trying to do it neatly. You know me, I'm not the neatest. There we go. It looks like it could benefit from another layer, but I think that'll work. So I'm going to do another layer of that in a minute. And what I'm going to do while I'm waiting for that to dry, to go back to my 38 and just extend this under here, because I just want to see how it looks underneath this present. And I'm thinking when we do this bit down here, we might want to see it. It's just plain colouring, really. The leaves, I've tried to make them a little darker nearer to the vine, but it's not really working. Right, so we've done that and that. I'm going to use another bit of white now in the hope that that bit's dry already. Now, to be careful layering up, you can usually do it a couple of times, but if you do too often, you end up with a really thick, splodgy, scratchy, nasty looking splodge. So, be careful. Right, let's move this way. So, yes, we have the gifts, the symmetrical, so we'll just do one set of gifts. Got our snowman as well. Now, how are we doing for time? See, I'm thinking I might split this into a couple of videos, just because there's a lot of small detail going on. So anyway, we'll do our snowman. Now, he's white. You've got a couple of choices really with snowmen. Is you do a background and then leave them white, which you could, or you do no background and you do them in a slight grey or a slight blue or even pink, or you know, reflecting light that might be in your picture. Like if it's a scene and you've got a sky, you could potentially do a sunset sky and then reflect some of those colours in the snow of your snowman. Things like that. It's quite complicated, but we're going to try and keep it, well, I'm going to try and keep it easy for myself and you. I'm going to start with the top hat. Number 9 are black. I like a black top hat. I don't know why. I just think it looks smart and almost sort of Victorian, I suppose. So let's do that. I'm trying to fade it towards the centre a little bit. I'm going to try and intensify the edges to make it look a little bit more rounded, like it's got a little bit of shine on that hat. And similar here, like that. Now, I quite like his ribbon on his hat to match his scarf. It's not very realistic because when we make a snowman, we don't go and say, right, let's find a matching this and that and the other, but why not? We can, so we will. I'm going to use a light blue and a dark blue stripe on his scarf. I just feel like introducing a few different colours into this, making it fairly colourful. So this is number 30 and it is our light blue. And I'm going to do that in a darker blue. So I'm just going to do every other stripe in the light blue. I'm not going to do anything fancy. It's way too small. If you're colouring in the book, you might have a little bit more room and you might want to make the bottom and top of the scarf a little bit darker to give the scarf a little bit more shape. But on this very small picture, I can't really, my eyes are going to go into spasms if I try and do that. So I'm not. And I'm going to try number 3 for the darker stripe. This is our blue. It's just called blue. And you can see it's a bit darker. Let's get it going. Now, one thing with your snowman, never, what's that? Oh, that's the line from his body, okay. Never colour him in yellow. No one likes yellow snow. So yeah, so when I said about maybe reflecting a sunset, maybe you want to do the red and orange, not so much the yellow. There we go. So there is his hat and scarf done. Now I find that colours, the best colour I find for a snowman's sort of body is Polychromo's sky blue, like a very pale ultramarine. I suppose it isn't because they call it ultramarine, like a grey blue perhaps is the best way to describe it. But we don't have that shade here, so I'm going to actually use a grey rather than blue, especially as I've used blue already. But we do have a slightly grey blue. We have what's called a dove grey, number 83. It's quite a dark grey. I'm going to try and sharpen it and use it very, very gently. And what I really want to do is to use it to add a little bit of shape to our spheres. So I'm thinking if I put a little bit on the edge and then just taper it in, and the same on this side, then not only will that make him stand out from the white background, but it will look like it's shadow on the edges of those spheres, and therefore hopefully give them a more spherical look. I might have overdone it, it might be a little bit too dark, but it'll allow you to see. Put a bit there as well underneath where one's sitting on the other. So there we go, so it's quite a dark grey. But I'm just going to taper it in a little bit and want to obviously leave some white. It's quite difficult on that bit because it's so small. There we go. There's our snowman. Now our gifts, we have 5 different gifts. I'm going to make them different colours. I'm going to use a red, I think, to start with. I do love a red at Christmas. This is the 29 that we've used for our hollyberry. So that was the carmine red. And I'm just going to block in the wrapping paper on this one. And then think about the ribbon. I might not do the ribbons right away. Just looking at how much time we've spent, how much we've done, when to pause this video. I may do it in just a moment. I might just do the wrapping paper of all the presents and then leave it. I'll have a think in a minute. Sorry, I just wanted to check my messages. My son had sent me a message telling me what time he was going to leave, so I wanted to just double check there was a train, because I don't know if he does that, checks them or not. So there's our red gift, and I want now let's have a think. What colours? Want something pinkish. I want a light pink or a dark pink. I think this pink might be nice. This is the lightest pink I've got, which is called light rose. Just giving it a sharpen, and then there we go. So here it is, 21, light rose. Quite different to the one next to it, isn't it? Just trying to check I've coloured it all. The light, my lamp is shining off everything as usual. Then I'm going to go for an orange. This is 4, which is orange. I can do this little one here. I want to do a blue, and we want to keep it far away from the snowmen. I'm going to, oops, one of my pencils just fallen out. I think I will do this 35, which is the turquoise, so it isn't going to look similar to the snowman. It needs sharpening, but it's still a bluish colour. And then I think our last one will be green, because as you can see, although it's turquoise, it's definitely a blue shade. I've gone over the ribbon there, didn't want to do that. There is the turquoise, and as I say, the last one I'm going to do in a green. I want it to be a different green to what we've used already, but it needs to match my plan for the ribbons. So 53. 53 is the I can't find it, lime green. Now this is going to be in 2 parts, so the rest of the video will come tomorrow, this time tomorrow, if you're watching it when it's just come up. If you're a member of my channel, YouTube channel, you know, a paying member, and you've joined, then you will get a compilation video of this, so you won't have to wait until tomorrow. Hopefully I would have remembered to have put it up for you already, so you can do both at once if that's what you would like to do. Right, I am going to leave it there. We've done a lot of colours, a lot of bits and pieces, so oops, let's just, so we've done that much there. So, oh, and the edge of that bow, there we go. So that is all I'm doing for today, and I'm going to come back in tomorrow and finish the ribbons, do something for this, and then we've got the train. Oh, we've got quite a lot train stocking to do. So there's a fair bit to do, but we're going to do it tomorrow because quite a lot of it, like on the train, is going to be the same colour and things like that. Anyway, thank you for watching today. I hope you have a really enjoyable Monday and happy colouring.